Hello. Pterospasm in the Q&A video brought up a great question that I have a lot of opinions about, and not just specifically in that question, but kind of like a general topic. So he asked, what are your thoughts on the most recent normalization of gambling and so many different hobbies in day-to-day life that was not fairly common when you were younger? It's bad. It's really bad. And not just that, but let's talk about the gambling and let's talk about the larger stuff. So, three topics: gambling, Kalshi / Poly Market, and grind culture, I guess you could say. Okay, gambling in general. It feels like gambling is everywhere, and like I watch basketball, right? And by saying I watch basketball, it means I don't pay to watch basketball, but I follow the San Antonio Spurs because I'm from San Antonio, right? And I've been able to catch some games on Prime now that they show up on Prime. So I watch some basketball and watch basketball highlights, basically, for my team. And I don't really understand why you would need to, like, gamble on sports to enjoy it. Like, I feel like sports should be something that you just enjoy for, like, the competition or the aesthetics or the whatever. Like, I like basketball because everything's moving all the time, and, you know, hockey's kind of that way too. Not so big on football or baseball. I watch basketball, right? It always seems like stuff's moving all the time, and, you know, stuff can be fun. Not so much when it's like free throw fest. I caught a game between the Magic and the Minnesota Timberwolves recently where it was like, oh my God, not everything needs to end in a free throw. Wow. But like highlight plays, dunks, and cool moves and defense and stuff like that. All that stuff I enjoy. That's why I like the San Antonio Spurs right now when they got a 7'5" alien doing crazy stuff. I don't understand the people that can't enjoy it for what it is. And it annoys me when sports coverage is gambling first. They're not talking about the game. They're talking about, maybe this is an ESPN thing, they're talking about the drama, or they're talking about drama and trades and everything else, who could go where, what could happen, or they're talking about the gambling stuff. They're leading with the gambling lines and everything else. And that's just real weird, man. Like, I don't want the entire freaking coverage of an entertainment product to be whether or not you could lose money on that entertainment product. That's just off-putting to me. So that off-putting nature of sports gambling seems to be spread onto everything right now. And it's very readily available. You can do it on your phone. It doesn't have to be in one particular place. This doesn't seem like there's that many guardrails against it. So I don't have an addictive personality to gambling, thank goodness. There's probably other aspects of my personality that indicate I might have some addictive personality stuff, which is why I don't do things like gambling or drugs or alcohol or whatever. Though I suppose I have some fairly good impulse control when it comes to buying stuff. So I don't know. Anyway, gambling's not my thing. And I imagine that being able to access it from every single place on Earth, from your phone, from your computer, from whatever, an increasing amount of states for sports gambling, for legalized sports gambling, probably isn't great for people that have addiction issues or gambling issues. You hear an ad for something where it's like, oh, well, now you can make the bet without going into your phone. And you're like, that seems bad. It seems like you need to be able to at least hit the thing in the right order in order to jump in. Like, I don't know. It just seems bad. I am a risk-averse person. I could see a lot of things going wrong with that sort of situation, losing a whole bunch of money that needs to go to other things. You could say, like, hey, the stock market is also bad. And I'd be like, yes, I don't invest in the stock market. So, like, it's not my thing. So maybe keep that in mind. I'm very biased against gambling. But, like, I'm seeing it turn politically, too, where, like, state after state after state was doing the sports gambling. And Missouri had it up to, like, a vote of the citizens of Missouri whether or not it should be legal in the state. And it barely passed. Like, I think people are recognizing that this is becoming a problem, and people are becoming addicted to sports gambling. People are losing money on this situation, and that money is just being sucked away from people, and I imagine a lot of normal people, and going towards people that frankly don't need that money, right? I don't like the sound of that at all. That's sports gambling, right? So, shifting into where this might become an issue in larger aspects of life. In the NBA, because I follow the NBA, I'm very aware of this, they're having a gambling controversy right now. They should have known it was coming. They didn't seem like they were all that prepared, and now it's here. So the U.S. government, hilariously, this U.S. government is investigating gambling fraud. I guess they don't like some kinds of fraud. Anyway, I won't get into it. Couple things going on. One, there was some people, including Chauncey Billups, that are being accused of revealing when players would not play, when they were planning to sit them out, right? And that was a problem. That was a lot of fraud. There's been situations where players have done something in order to win money or help other people win money on a bet on them, right? That they have control over it. Like, I think the scenario was like an over-under on points, 3-point, I don't know. It was something like that. He faked an injury. He went out. They figured out there was obvious fraud. It's a bad time, right? So this is happening in sports, right? People manipulating a scenario in order to make money off of gambling on them, basically, or people they know. Transition to Polymarket and Kalshi, where you can, and keep in mind, I'm not an expert. I don't know everything about the scenario, but it sure seems like you can take that and bet on almost anything, from who wins a political election to when someone gets killed in a military action in the Middle East. Like, and I imagine there's probably some safeguards in check to make sure that these that these people that know the inside information don't make bets on this and earn money. But it seems like a system rife for fraud, which, you know, makes me think of another scenario. At one point in time, I don't know if it was overseas markets or I don't know if it was anything in the United States, but it may have been overseas. I followed wrestling for a long time. There were people involved in the wrestling that clearly bet on the results of the wrestling matches. Obviously, yes, wrestling is fake. No shit. What I'm saying is there were people involved in WWE that after the creative decision was made to determine who would win which match and what would happen, would place bets on that, on those markets that would allow betting on, yes, professional wrestling. So these things are happening in places that you could make bets, and these were silly things over like basketball, which is like less silly because an actual sporting event, and you know, if you don't maintain the integrity of the actual sporting event, you're going to have a problem. And professional wrestling, like people were doing insider trading or insider whatever to gain money in a fraudulent way, in a way that seems bullshit. It doesn't take very long to pull that idea of there will be fraudsters doing these things if the markets allow it, and putting it in a scenario where you can make money off of your dad's war or whatever. That seems bad. That seems very, very, very bad. That seems way worse than I shot a 3-pointer and then I went out so that I hit the under on the 3-pointer. That seems like life and death fraudulent insanity, and I cannot believe that things like Polymarket and Kalshi are like here. It seems really bad. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, that's gambling, right? Obviously, I've stated my opinion on that. You could think of the prevalence of gambling as a marker that life has become very hard to have like a normal job and make a normal way of living if everyone seems to be trying to find a way to make a living in a way that's not as hard or as difficult or inaccessible. Like, it hasn't just been the prolific gambling, right? It's been a long series of things that have been sold to us as ways to make money in a scenario where we don't have to deal with bosses or corporations or whatever, because like these opportunities are getting cut off from us, right? So it's gambling right now. It's gambling in AI right now, which I think is also kind of a scam. I don't. Oh God. I think AI is a speculative market where it will crash and it will be bad, but there will end up being some things that it will be good for. But also, like maybe at the same time, it's going to cut like a lot of people's livelihoods off. Like I think it's going to end a lot of people's jobs, which doesn't seem great. It seems like we're barreling towards a place where the people that have the power in society from a monetary and government standpoint want us to certainly be consumers, but they are limiting our ability to have jobs. And in order to consume and to buy stuff, we do need to have careers and the ability to buy stuff and the ability for our income not to go towards all of it going towards the basic necessities like housing and food and water and health insurance and all these other things, right? So it's AI and gambling right now. It was crypto and NFTs not that long ago. It was like drop shipping not that long ago. It was make like a book in a very niche subject and then make like 10 more examples of your shitty pumped out book, which frankly I find this like there's been all kinds of ads on YouTube that have sold me all these get rich quick schemes that that are stupid and like they're not going to work. But the write books as fast as you can and make a bunch of money one is like the slowest get rich quick scheme I've ever heard of. But anyway, it was like make a whole bunch of specialized niche content and pump it out for a while. I guess be a YouTuber was one, but that wasn't really like pushed in a whole bunch of ads in a way that made you concerned that something was happening. But like all of these things are frankly ways to get you to make money outside of the normal 9 to 5, which like, yeah, normal 9 to 5, it's not everything it's cracked up to be. I understand that, but a lot of these things are also pushing at like, you're not using your free time good enough because you're not making money off of your free time. The like passive incomes, all of these things are essentially saying that like what you're doing is not good enough. Like you can't have hobbies, you can't hang out with your family. You got to be like constantly making money. You got to turn your electricity into tiny bits of cash through crypto and do all that. You gotta sell your used stuff. Like everything around me has inflated in value in like a ridiculous fashion because we prioritize gaining money so much. Like, you know, it doesn't matter that this is like, you know, a fun thing to have and occasionally look back on. That's not the value in it. People think the value is what you can sell it for. Like yeah, I recognize that if we run into financial trouble, there's like stuff in our house that I'm gonna have to hawk, whether it's the GameCube games or the Pokemon cards or the whatever. Like, I recognize there's value in that, but like being so goddamn fixated on what you can get out of something and that you're not existing well enough without making money in your existence that it makes all of these things that could be enjoyable to someone like, if somebody went across this at a yard sale for $1 and picked it up, they'd have like so much fun looking at all these old Calvin and Hobbes things for $1. Like that would be great, but well, you know what? Let's look at it right now. Like, what is Calvin and Hobbes' 10th anniversary book? 10th anniversary book. How much is somebody trying to sell this thing for right now? $5, $126, $81, $10, $6, $7.59. Like, it just seems like all these things are priced in such a way that people are so fixated on trying not to get ripped off that they're not just like getting rid of stuff. It feels like since I've lived in this town that like there's so many places that pop up that are like storage places. People hold on to their crap and they never get rid of it, and they never allow anyone else to enjoy the thing that they have because they're so obsessed with the value of it. Like that's the thing that annoys me. That feels like it's a continuation of this through the crypto thing, the NFT thing, the drop shipping thing, the gambling, the AI, like all of it is a sign that I guess you could say capitalism is running out of like things for its citizens and its consumers to do and survive with, that people are looking for ways to survive that's not a job, that's not a normal job, because frankly sometimes the normal job doesn't provide you enough money or financial benefits or medical benefits in order to like make it worth it. And like it seemed all of these things seem like the sign of a broken system, and all of these things seem like an insult to how I use my free time. Like, can't someone be a human being and just like be into something and watch a TV show or whatever once in a while instead of always having to make money for themselves or society or a company or whatever? Like, it just seems insane to me. Like, and it's not just like all of these like things that it's not just all these things I've listed. Like my wife would try to get like a Halloween decoration or a witchy thing for the kitchen from, God, what is it called? It's like a home decor store. Its name is escaping me, but there's people that just go around to these home decor stores and pick up the random items that they would set out before anyone else could go to it, and then they'll resell it. So you don't get the chance to buy the thing that you actually want because people think there's value in it and they want that money for them. Like, it's crazy, whether it's concert tickets or wrestling tickets or like plates or whatever. Like, this quest for money doesn't seem very good. So I guess that's my general idea, is that it's probably a sign that capitalism ain't doing it for us in general, or this version of capitalism ain't doing it for us in general right now. And people need to like be able to exist without constantly making money or turning their free time into a market value, man. Like, I shouldn't have to feel guilty about painting a goddamn Warhammer model, right? I shouldn't have to feel bad about buying a card and it being buying a Magic the Gathering card and it being re-released and its value dropping. Like, these things should be hobbies. I shouldn't view my Magic the Gathering collection as a portfolio. They should be fun. There's your video. Thanks, Terror Spasm.